Have you ever felt like your body was speaking a language you couldn't understand? Like, no matter how many doctors you saw or treatments you tried, the core of your chronic pain or exhaustion remained a mystery? Well, I've been there, and I know how confusing, how isolating it can feel, and how close to hopelessness it can bring you. But what if the key to healing wasn't in a prescription or in a diagnosis? What if your body wasn't working against you, but trying to communicate with you? In this video, I'll share how I uncovered the hidden connection between my physical symptoms and unresolved trauma, and how internal family systems help me stop fighting my body and start listening to it in a way that led to profound healing. If you're new here, I'm Valentina Manini, and I help people heal beyond traditional methods using internal family systems, IFS, somatic therapy, and psychedelic assisted therapy. My work bridges science and deep self-inquiry, showing how trauma isn't just in the mind, but it lives in the body. If you have ever felt like there's more to your pain than what you have been told, you are in the right place. For most of my life, I thought the body was just the body. If something hurt, you went to the doctor. If you were exhausted, you needed more sleep. That was just as simple as that. But it never even crossed my mind that my body might be carrying experiences, that pain could be more than just physical, that it could hold emotions, memories, and even unprocessed trauma. So the realization that my body could hold so much more than just illnesses and pain that had a medical cause didn't come until much later, when I started working with internal family systems almost 10 years ago. Before that, my body utterly confused me. I had lived with knee pain since I was a teenager, but I never really questioned it. It was just there, something I had learned to live with. But then the real wake-up call came, the moment that changed everything for me and marked a really important step into the healing that I could do afterwards. It wasn't just my knees anymore. After having my twins, my body collapsed under an exhaustion that I couldn't explain. My hips ached, my energy disappeared, and I felt like I was drowning all the time. I remember looking at my beautiful children, full of love for them and who they were, but also carrying this unbearable guilt that sometimes still comes back because I couldn't be the mother that I deserved. I was exhausted, I was in pain, and no one could tell me why. Doctors kind of brushed it off.
Of course you're tired. You have twins.
But deep down, I knew that this wasn't normal. And so I went searching for my own answers. And that's when I found the word fibromyalgia. I finally had a name for my symptoms and for the way that I felt, for my experience, but I definitely did not have a solution, because wherever I found fibromyalgia was this kind of mysterious disease, something that was not clearly treatable. It didn't have a clear cause. And by that time, I was already working with IFS, and anything that didn't have a clear medical cause made me suspicious. And so, not having a solution, I went reading and researching more. And here and there, the word trauma, of course, kept popping up, especially in the work of Peter Levine and Gabor Mate. Their work resonated very deeply with me. And so I started wondering, could my pain, this unbearable exhaustion, be my body's way of holding onto emotions that I never got to process? And that thought was kind of terrifying. It was liberating in a way, because there was the possibility that I was not facing a lifelong kind of, curse that I would have had to deal with for the rest of my life. But it was also terrifying. Like, was I doing this to myself? And if so, how do I stop it? Because I had no idea. And so I decided that I pretty much had two choices in front of me. I could accept the mainstream explanation of what I was experiencing, or I could trust my heart and I could trust what I learned up to that point and kind of be curious about it, to explore it through internal family systems and other somatic modalities. And so I stopped fighting against the exhaustion. I stopped fighting against whatever was pulling me down, whatever really wanted me to just lay down and do nothing. And instead, I started listening. This whole journey taught me something that for me was life-changing. It taught me that our bodies hold what our hearts and minds cannot process. When we are diagnosed with chronic pain or chronic fatigue, it's easy to feel like victims of our own biology. But what if these symptoms aren't betraying us? What if they're actually trying to guide us home? What if they're trying to guide us to resolve things that have been unresolved for way too long? And if you're struggling with chronic pain, exhaustion, or mystery symptoms that no doctor can explain, then I want you to know that there is hope. I would like you to know that your body isn't broken. Your body believes that now you're ready to listen. It's speaking. And the first step is learning to listen. And yes, it's absolutely scary. And yes, it might bring up things that you'd rather avoid. But on the other side of that fear, well, that's where real healing is waiting. It's just waiting on the other side. When I could finally sit with the excruciating pain in my hips, that's when I could retrieve a memory that I suppressed, the moment in which my father said that he would leave us. I saw a younger version of myself sitting still, and I could see her being speechless. I could feel what was going on inside. I could feel how all she wished she could do was screaming. I could feel how my hips have been screaming since I was 12. And that's when her heart closed and the system just came together in an embrace to protect her, and decided that feeling was not a good thing. They decided that from that moment she shall not feel. It was too much. It was too painful. She couldn't take it. And anyway, nothing mattered anymore because her dad was leaving. And so she did what she already learned to do. She buried it deep in her body, deep in my body. And that moment of recognition was both devastating in the understanding of the event that caused this to happen to me, but also liberating because for the first time I was listening. For the first time I was there for myself the way that I really needed to. And because for the first time I really understood that my chronic pain wasn't just physical. It was the language of a younger me who never got to be heard, and it was the language of my body that was ready for that to be seen, for that to be released. I'm absolutely sure that if you could get to the core of your pain and to the core of your chronic fatigue, you would find something that is both mind-blowing and extremely emotionally painful to be with, but also something extremely fundamentally liberating. And the chronic fatigue was a more nuanced outcome of my own childhood trauma, but it was still 100% caused by that. It was a kind of a tug of war scenario, but I'm gonna share about that in another video. So I want you really to know that your body is wise. Your body knows the way. Your body holds your history, your wounds, and if you listen, your path to healing. Each ache, each wave of exhaustion is a message, a story waiting to be acknowledged, a story waiting for you to be ready to listen to it, to receive it, to witness it. And the more we listen with compassion, the more our bodies soften, the more we create safety within, and the more healing becomes possible, because the answers that you're searching for have been inside you all along. And this is what the next videos are going to deep dive into. I would really like to share with you how to go from fighting against yourself and your body and start listening instead. You can start right away by actually getting my new IFS course that will accompany you in getting to know your parts over 9 days in the easiest possible way directly from your inbox. So if you'd like to get a little deeper into IFS, you will find the link in the description. And if this resonates with you, leave a comment below. Have you ever experienced pain or exhaustion that felt deeper than just the physical realm? Is there a knowing inside of you that maybe is inviting to be curious about it and to discover what it really is about?